book buddies. I have a very fun video, and it's supposed to be an ARC review. It is an ARC review. However, I'm also going to include my new book Nook layout and also 2 cover reveals because I'm very far behind in sharing things with you guys. So I'm going to make this kind of an all-in-one video. So first up, the book Nook. So this is my fun new chair, and it does fold out. It has these little straps, and then it folds out, which is really kind of fun. These are my 2 original bookcases I have. I have this one, and then this one. And to compensate, I got this little tiny one because I was like running out of room. A through C, I believe. So, and then this way I got a cute little table up here where I keep my lights and coffee going. I got this cute little plant, which is fake. My pillow that I bought like forever ago and shared in a haul now finally has a permanent home. And I got this really fun blanket. I don't feel like unfolding it, but it says I have no shelf control. And it's got these pretty book design on there. Super cute. I couldn't decide if I wanted to get that one or get this design here that says just one more chapter. Like I was really torn between the 2. So even though my book Nook area is awesome and I love it, I can't really film there because the chair is so low to the ground and it's for reading and chilling, not filming. So I'm just going to film at my desk like I usually do. I'm gonna go ahead and do the cover reveals next. That way most of this video can be for the review, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait. Okay, so this first one took place back on February 3rd. Shows you how long I've been away for. But it is the sequel to A Guild of Thieves by Jaden Phillips. Read that and I gave it like 5 stars. I think it was fantastic. The sequel is The Code of Pirates. The release day was on March 3rd. It is a young adult nautical fantasy / Christian fantasy / adventure fantasy. Here's a quote from the book, a graphic that she made, which is really cool. If you do want to check out the series or book 1 or book 2, I have Goodreads links, Amazon links in the description below for you to check out. I did pre-order it and I have it. I haven't got to read it yet, but I'm really excited to read it. The next one is an anthology by Sky's the Limit Press. This is actually an anthology that I really wanted to enter for the submission contest back in 2023. I didn't finish it in time, but you know, I'm still working on the book actually. But the book is called Of Storm and Sea, and it is nautical, coastal. There's pirates, there's historical fiction in it, contemporary, fantasy. There's just a really good variety, and I'm so excited for this to come out. It does release on April 28th of this year. This is also the same small press that did They Tell Me You Love Me anthology, which I did review in a video forever ago, and that was a fantastic collection. I loved it so much. You can watch the review up in the corner. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So on to the book review. Today I'm going to be sharing my full ARC review for M. Liz Boyle's brand new release, Where Your Treasure Is. I do have a paperback copy that the author did send me for being part of the launch team. Isn't that so cool? Which I'll get into this in a second. But look at that. Look at that. Okay, so first and foremost, yes, I did receive a free ARC copy from the author. However, a review, positive or otherwise, was not required or encouraged. These are all my own thoughts and opinions. Okay, so first thing I want to hit on is the cover, because like most readers, I do judge a book by a cover. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's just the way I am. And honestly, even if I know 0 about the book, if it has a stunning cover, I might just snag it up merely for the cover and I'll read it eventually. But that's a whole other side story. Anyway, so Where Your Treasure Is. I love the color scheme. It's so oceany, and if you know me, I love ocean stuff and nautical. That's why all their cover reveals were ocean themed or pirate themed. Anyway, so it is so fun. I love it. And even the spine here looks so cool. I love it. It really does look like the perfect summer vacation read, like treasure hunting, scuba diving, old ships and everything. I do want to go ahead and share a really cool graphic that the author made about the different kind of tropes and whatnot to give you a bit more idea of the book. And as you can see, there's amateur sleuth, tight-knit Hispanic family, and less their secrets. This is a standalone as well, action, adventure, new adults, coming of age. This book does deal with a lot of grief and kind of life after loss. So warning if, you don't want to read about stuff like that, but it is pretty prevalent in the book, honestly. And a treasure hunt off the coast of Florida. And I have read, I think, every single book that M. Liz Boyle has, except for her freebie newsletter story. I have to read that still. But I love all her books. Adventure is always on point, and the Christian aspects are always phenomenal. And there's plenty of really, really good research. So, and this was honestly no exception. The adventure was there, the action, great message of, which I'll get into that, of course, later, but great Christian themes. The research was honestly outstanding, but you could tell that she really put a lot of time and effort into making this as real and believable as possible, which made for a really immersive read. My favorite parts were the dives, and just like the pretty fish that she'd mentioned and the coral reefs, and just, it felt so like you were there, kind of. And I love those. I would not have minded more of those, honestly. There are a lot of themes. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of themes of grief and trying to live after losing a loved one. Greed, loyalty, and family, they were all big ones. The main theme was about where your treasure is, was based off the verse Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that perfectly sums this up. Because treasure diving, and you get all caught up in that, but you got to remember it's temporary, it's of this world, it's corrupt, it's going to be destroyed or stolen out from under you by, who knows, but your actual treasure, that's where your heart's going to be, and that's what you have to focus on. You can't get caught up in the pretty glittery stuff of this world because it's temporary. All right, let's talk characters. Ruby, who is the main character, she's complex. She was all over the place. She is, in this book, kind of made out to be greedy, which I can see where the theme of greed totally comes in, with the villain and everything, and who's going to get the treasure first and all that stuff. Totally see that. However, Ruby in particular, I didn't see her as greedy. I would define her as reckless, impulsive, and just plain old grieving. Her emotions were all over the place, and they literally ruled like every single action. Like, I feel like every move she made was not based off logical thought or any time to really consider it. It was just based off emotion, and I'm going to do this because I want to do this, and I don't care what happens in the end. So, oh dear. And the entire book, like everything that comes up, there's tons of action and suspense. There's kidnappings and everything. So it's very high stakes and very like, are they going to make it? What's going to happen to them? But I feel like her emotions and how she was still trying to process her grief and go through it. And not to mention her very iffy relationship with her family was kind of tension at times. I feel like that kind of took away from all the action, because I feel like everything that happened action-wise really led to Ruby trying to process her grief and working on relationships and whatnot, if that makes sense. Like, there was plenty of action, but this was still very character-driven, I think, which kind of took away from the action. And it was so hard not to feel for Ruby because, no spoilers. But like everything she goes through and the people who she feels are supposed to love her the most and be there for her, she feels betrayed or like they're working against her. So on top of, well, it's in the synopsis. So her boyfriend died and everything, so she's dealing with that. Her family has issues and everything. So it's just a lot. It's a lot. And add a treasure hunt to the mix, My general reading of this, I'm very late in posting this, unfortunately. Very late in reading it, due to just a busy work schedule, a lot of stuff getting in the way, and also my mood reader-ness really was bad because I did lose interest several times and I put it aside. I was reading other stuff, which was my own bad, but it's just one of those things. As the book really got going and we got more into the story, I did gain interest and like kind of zoomed through it. I feel like the ending answered every question and tied up all the loose ends, and I don't think there was anything that I was like, you know, it was satisfying. I enjoyed it. I am going to say though, while I was reading this, when I first started reading it, I was like, oh man, I miss reading about Marley and like all those folks in the Off the Itinerary series. I really miss them. So I'm going to be giving Where Your Treasure Is 3.5 stars, round up to 4. I did enjoy this. It was a great read, fantastic summery adventure. I do recommend it if you enjoy Christian suspense, treasure hunts, scuba diving, any ocean related activities. Definitely give this a read. And also if you enjoy unique family dynamics, because yeah, there was a lot of drama with that. That will close up this review. I enjoyed this, and shout out and special thank you to the author for letting me be a part of the ARC team and reviewing the book. That closes up this very compact video with all kinds of things because it's been crazy, and honestly I have no idea when my next video will be out. It might be a few months, so yeah. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you got a new book rec. And so thank you so much for watching this and for following along and your patience with my very, very slow updates. I truly appreciate y'all. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, happy reading.